Yo, welcome everyone to a new video, and today we're just here watching or basically talking about the one tower only challenge. This time I'm not gonna go with the in the row basically in the towers. We're going mix and mix. So basically the first mix and mix towers that we're using today is the Super Monkey. It's probably the most weighted tower that we want to see, and yes, I started at 4 minutes and 20 seconds in. But you didn't really see that because again I always put like fading away to fading in the video basically, if that makes sense. And you can see here right away that we basically used the Super Monkey and then the village, of course. And of course we also basically call it a pretty much one life clutch here because we have one life clutch with the Plasma Super Monkey with the Monkey Fort Village. And then I wanted to go for like a farm upgrade, but I couldn't, so I have to go for the little Monkey Fort and Radar Scanner upgrade first of all before I had like no money. Which is understandable because we have one life clutch and I don't wanna do this run once again because this is my third time. Before I start to record, of course, and here we are. So the Super Monkey is basically a pretty nice mid-game to late game tower, but early game this tower sucks ass because first of all you need $2,000 to earn that money first of all, which means like from eco or money from the farms, and which you can see here my eco is definitely not the greatest, especially for the mid game here 23, but we're still fine here nonetheless. So as you can see, we have one life. We have Monkey Fort with the jungle drums and the radar scanner for the plasma to hit everything on the field, especially with a 2-2 Super Monkey on the field, which is pretty good. So let's start off with the 0-0 Super Monkey, which is the base basically, and the base of the Super Monkey is pretty bad. Has only 1 damage, 1 pierce, aka only 0 pierce basically, if that makes sense. And then cost efficient is for the mid game pretty bad. For its strength is basically the space blues and greens and blues, reds and blues. Weakness, group runes from 0-0 Super Monkey is the greens and beyond. Unless of course you have the Monkey Fort, which increases the pierce by 1, which is what we all wanted. And yeah, there we go. That's already the base tower of the Super Monkey. Now it's gonna be a little bit of a long video, so I can actually explain pretty nicely what this tower can do. And I hope you guys will also enjoy this kind of videos, because again, this is my favorite type of thing, since I don't think anybody did this type of videos before. So I really want to see how far this monkey can actually go. And you can see that I went for multiple BIAs, probably like 7-8 BIAs, and then I went for factories because we had to go for these tempo at some point. But let's talk about the tier 1 upgrades, which is the Laser Blast and the Super Range, I think. I have a Super Range or Epic Range, I have no idea. But here we are. Laser Blasts. It's pretty good. Has sadly no popping power for lights, but the Laser Blast is pretty decent for group damage and pretty good for, you know, the good old, what's the name, the good old space balloons. But that's more you need to know is that Laser Blast is pretty good for mid game and early game, and Plasma Blast is not really good for group damage, but at least has a chance to basically get a variable to the lead balloons as soon as possible. Also, the Laser Blast shoots twice as fast and has also a laser on his eyes out, basically, if that makes sense. And then we have the Super Range, which I was at least right, which is Super Range, and basically the Super Range gives the Super Monkey, I think, double the range of its own, if that makes sense. And now you can see we went for the tempo, I think around 33, so that's something. I have no idea if I actually went for tempo for around 33 because I'm looking at the Battles Towers combo to see what I can include in that little thing there, but yeah. Then we got tier 2 upgrades, which is the Plasma Blast and the Epic Range. The Plasma Blast vaporizes everything it touches, basically means from red to rainbows and also lead, but kinda sucks against ceramics unless you have the monkey foot and jungle drums. Then we got the epic range, which increases the range a little bit more from the super range and the base range a little bit more, and basically it has at this point almost global range from the map, or also global range on some maps. Then we have the tier 3 upgrade path for the Super Monkey, which is again Sun God and Robo Monkey. Let's start off with the Sun God first of all, and that is Sun God shoots 3 laser blasts or sunbeams to the balloons, and I had to restart because I basically didn't want to, what's the name? What is the name? To say that 39 is the max for the Super Monkey. I believe we can easily go for the 44. And yeah, let's go back to the upgrade path, which is of course the Sun God and the Robo Monkey. But as I said before, we're going to the Sun God real quick, which is the shoots 3 times the Sun God blast. I don't know what you should say that. I think it's just sunbeams, but it's pretty good. The sunbeams destroys ceramics pretty easily, and it's pretty strong too. But it's not as strong as the Robo Monkey, as we'll be talking about now. The Robo Monkey details says half Super Monkey, half Killer Robo of Death, which means the Robo Monkey is good against balloons and more class balloons, which means Robo Monkey also deals, I think, doubled or tripled the damage against more class balloons, which is definitely pretty decent. Not only that, the Robo Monkey is definitely good for spamming, unlike the Terror, which we will be talking about soon. And the Robo Monkey itself costs, I think, 11,000 without the discounter, and with discounter it's probably like 9,900 if I'm right. It's, I think, 20%, so 20% should basically be the deal. And then we have our boy tier 4 upgrades, which everybody loves in late game, and everybody laughs in late game, which is the Tech Terror and the Temple of the Monkey God, aka just a normal temple. And let's find out what we can do here. So Temple of the Monkey God, Tower Sacrifices Enhance and Modify the Temple's awesome arsenal, which means you can actually sacrifice your towers, 30,000 each by the way, to get perfect amount of damage and support in your temple. And that only works if you got the support such as Ice Tower, the Wizard, the Glue, Mortar Bomb, that classifies as the Rocket Power. Maybe even Ray of Doom for multiple damage, but I have no idea if that actually works with the Ray of Doom. Then we have, maybe if Ray of Doom doesn't work, then we have the, what's the name? There's one more sacrifice you can use. Robo Monkey, aka Tech Terror, which basically increases the Super Monkey damage a little bit more and further. Also increases the Blade Shooter a little bit more damage. But there's also one more tower that gives some sacrifice. I think if I go to the tower section and see which tower can also support, then we'll find out. But there should be one more tower that supports that. Or not. I think I'm just stupid. Yeah, I guess I'm just stupid, but what I said is Glue, Ice, then the Wizard, the Wizard basically, and the Super Monkey, maybe perhaps also the Ray of Doom, but I have no idea if the Ray of Doom actually supports the tempo that much. Sadly, we have no one life clutch in this run here, but it's still fine because we got the freaking good old farms. And I'm tired, I'm really sorry, like, bear with me, I'm working my ass off on YouTube to get a lot more subs. And yeah, basically, how should I phrase it? I'm taking all night to edit to make this video pretty nice here. So hopefully you guys will also enjoy this kind of videos. And yes, I have to take care of my health at some point. But yeah, tempo is pretty nice, you can go for it if you want to. It's not really that decent for mid and early game, again, since tempo costs 100,000. And it's not really worth going for. Especially when it's late game you can go for it, but it's not really needed. unless you want to destroy your opponent. Hopes and dreams with Big Boom Buster and boost only with, I don't know, 5 tempos, and you can rush him later on, which is actually pretty nice. And yeah, while we're at it, we can talk about the Techno Terror, which again has the same damage and pierce as the Robo Monkey, but it has ability. I think it has 2000 damage or 700 damage. I have no idea how much damage it actually does. I think it's 1.5k, between 700 and 2000 basically. So the Techno Terror has an ability which says, and I quote, destroys all balloons within short radius of time, or radius of tower, completely and utterly, which means also more glass balloons. And if I remember correctly, Techno Terror can defend BFBs for around 38, even though they're buffed to the maximum with one ability, which is definitely pretty decent, and I would recommend going for it if you want to micro your little Techno Terrors. And you can see here I'm just going for the Robo Monkey on around 32, as again the group damage on the Sun God is definitely pretty good, and yeah, that's all pretty good and all. And Techno Terror basically is good for CMGs. I would say Techno Terror would be pretty decent if it was a little bit more buffed to get more damage instead of having the same damage as the Robo Monkey. Maybe it's like 5 times more damage against more blast balloons, then Robo Monkey wouldn't have the same issue with the Techno Terror, and we can actually spam Techno Terrors instead of Robo Monkeys, and we may have also gotten a better world record time in Sandbox, or you know, practice mode. That's where I always play the one tower only challenge on the Balloon Circus. It is what it is. Yeah, basically that's all I can say. And since it's only 4 minutes left for me, or 3 minutes left for you people, I want to talk about my life real quick, if you're fine with it. If not, you can always mute and use your music if you want to. You don't really have to, but I would appreciate if you want to listen to it. It's basically free content for you people if you want to. So, as you may know, I have gotten 1000 subscribers in about almost 2 weeks ago, which is still mind-boggling to me, because that was my dream 6 years ago, or maybe even longer, because before I started YouTube, I always wished to have 1000 subscribers at some point, and we finally reached the goal of that sub counter, which is definitely pretty decent. I am actually happy about it, and we also have already 6 euros and 69 cents. Nice, by the way. Nice. In the account, and the threshold is of course 70 euros, which once I have the threshold we can actually earn money from YouTube. Of course, it's constantly. Of course, we can always change the threshold to 100, 150, which is of course the money payment for basically getting the what is the name for my grandpa's rent, basically. Yes, I'm living with grandpa and I have to pay his rent. If I don't, then it's kinda bad, but let me speak it out real quick. So, as soon as I'm doing YouTube, I of course want to make good content, I want to get paid of course, and I hope for the best I get donations to pay the rent as good as I can, because again, I don't want to, you know, be free in the payment. I want to support people as well, so once I'm big, I want to support people with donations and everything else, and try my best to basically help others out. And basically what I want to say about it is, if you guys want to support me, comment down below what you think about this video. Because every time I'm speaking, I get like the burp thingy in my throat, which is actually annoying. So again, if you want to support me, the algorithm, definitely go for the comment section below, because we need the comment section for the algorithm, of course, and to help me out and the other content creators. The support is immensely helped by commenting below, and of course the subscriptions. Liking the video would also help me a lot, because then people can actually see, and you can see that I'm microing because someone wants to see how far I can get with the CMG destroyed, and I easily got it down to the BFBs. Kinda weird to say, but yeah, we actually got it down to the BVPs. Then I tried to get the more apps, but I decided to stop at this point, and you can see I'm stopped. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys as usual in the next video. Peace!